Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the different game modes in DC Dark Legion. Let's see which one is your favorite. First, let's start with the modes in SON. When it comes to the anti-crime network battles, they're actually pretty tough because they require a lot of different strategies. Sometimes you need to go all in for a fast win, sometimes it's all about surviving as long as possible, and other times you have to focus your attacks on a single target. As for the resources, in the early game, Genesis is the most important one. But later on, mission resources also become crucial since they're really scarce. On the other hand, things like alloy and chip can be earned in many different ways, so you don't need to worry about them too much. Next up is Metal Brawl. This is actually my favorite mode because it lets us battle against other players' team lineups. The downside, though, is that you only get 5 free attempts per day, which can feel a bit boring if you want to play more, since you'll need to buy extra attempts. Another drawback is that you can't choose your target to attack like in other modes. Even though you're still fighting against AI, at least it's using other players' team setups, so it's a great way for everyone to learn from each other. I think a lot of you probably enjoy this mode as much as I do. But with so few free attempts, many players hesitate to test new lineups, since dropping in rank feels risky. Personally, I really hope the admins will introduce another similar mode where we can battle for free unlimited times. Although, to be fair, that might be difficult, because if that happens, players using emulators would have an advantage in terms of time compared to those playing on mobile, since phone batteries can't last that long. I guess the developers have already considered that. Next is the training simulator, which is definitely the hardest mode in the game. That's because there are no fixed rules at all. You can run into lineups where all 5 heroes are the same. If it's 5 weak ones, that's fine, but when you suddenly face 5 Deathstrokes, 5 Atoms, or other crazy combos, it's honestly shocking. But I actually enjoy this mode since it forces me to come up with strategies to help players push through different levels. Even though my videos on this mode don't get many views, the main reason is that everyone has their own unique, strong lineup. So my guides aren't really that useful for direct reference. The only exception is simulator level 100, because at that stage, everyone uses the same setup. Heroes are all at their lowest level with only one limited hero, Superman. That's why those videos tend to get more views. I think a lot of you also like this mode, simply because it's so unpredictable and fun. Next is the combat cycle. At the beginning of the game, this mode was really exciting, but once you reach phase 2, it doesn't feel as fun anymore, mainly because it's way too hard and the rewards are way too low. For example, even though I dealt a huge amount of damage, up to 30 million, the rewards were still pretty disappointing. Back in phase 1, this was the best place to farm resources, especially gems, since you could earn a lot. But after moving into phase 2, you can only get around 180 gems per week at most. If your team is really strong, maybe you'll earn a bit more, but not by much. What I hope is that this mode could still be difficult, but the rewards should at least feel worth the effort. Or maybe the reward milestones could be shorter. Because right now, to get just 3 reward milestones, you have to deal over 30 million damage and survive, which is insanely tough. In phase 2, the boss deals so much damage that you need at least 2 support heroes just to stay alive. For me, since I have a high star crypto, I only need him to survive. But with certain bosses, I've had to bring up to 3 healing supports just to make it through. It's too hard. Way, way, way too hard.
I don't play Super Boy! My turn. Boy! I don't play by the rules. My turn. Super Boy! I don't play by the rules. don't play by the rules. Send in the clown. Super boy. My turn. I don't play by the rules. Send in Super boy. My turn. I don't play by the rules. Super boy. Send in the clown.
All right, now let's talk about Defeat the Dark Legion. This one is a league mode, and it's actually pretty simple. You just send your troops and wait for other league members to join you. Once there are 5 teams, the attack will launch immediately. If you don't reach 5, then you just have to wait until the timer runs out, based on the time you set. If your league has a lot of active members online, you can choose the 5-minute option to finish quickly. But for leagues with fewer active members, you'll probably need to set it to 15 minutes. Personally, I think if your league barely has anyone online, you should probably switch to another league. Staying in an inactive one won't help you grow at all. Look for a league where the Master League actually manages things properly, like kicking out members who stay offline too long and actively recruiting new players. Don't stick around in a league where the leader does nothing just because they want to keep their power. I've seen leagues where members stay inactive for 1 to 3 months, and in the end, nobody develops or progresses. Next up is the Umbral Rift. It's kind of similar to Dark Legion, but this one is all about fighting a boss within a limited amount of time. So make sure you keep track of the schedule and join with your league because the rewards are really worth it. The thing I care about the most here is the coins, since you can use them to buy a lot of items in the league shop. This is also one of the best places to farm anvils or shards for Shazam and Flash. That's why you should save up as many league coins as possible. When you first start the game, I recommend spending those coins on anvils. Later on, you can buy other things. Anvils are super important because they give you a much better chance of getting limited heroes. So the more you have, the better. Next is the Darkest Timeline, which is honestly my favorite mode. The rewards are really good, and it's also a great place to test the strength of your heroes, though not 100% accurate since there are still extra buffs involved. The only downside is that once you've reached the maximum 150 reward points, there's nothing else to do. I personally think this mode should reset once a month, or they should add a Crisis 2 because just Crisis 1 isn't enough. Oh, and by the way, I still haven't completed all the missions yet. I'm not sure if anyone has managed to finish everything. Maybe if you do, it will unlock Crisis 2, or maybe not, since I checked the rules and didn't see anything about it. Next, let's talk about some other league modes like Guardian Challenge, Rush, and Battle for Gotham. Out of these 3, the only one I usually take part in is Guardian Challenge, since sometimes it happens at a time when I'm able to join. The other 2 usually pop up around 3 a.m. or 5 a.m., and by then I'm asleep, so I don't know much about them. But I assume they're pretty similar to Guardian Challenge. In this mode, it's kind of like Dark Legion, but with an added twist. You send spaceships to different cities to occupy them. The goal is to rack up as many points as possible so that your league can secure a higher ranking, which means better rewards. That's why I always say you should join the strongest league with the most active players online, because that way you'll get the most rewards. Overall, among all these modes, the one I enjoy the most is still Darkest Timeline. But the problem is, it's too limited. You can only play it a few times when the server opens, and once you hit the max rewards, there's nothing left to do. I also really like Brawl, but again, it feels too restricted since you only get 5 attempts per day. I wish they would increase it to 10 or even 15 attempts. So, what about you guys? Which mode do you enjoy the most in this game? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.